Welcome, guys. Welcome to AWS Cloud for Beginners webinar. This is Hemant Gangireddy from Career Bridge IT Services and Overseas Education. Yeah, we'll start our session in 3 minutes. We'll start exactly at 10:10. Kumar, so can you please start at 10:10, Kumar?
Yeah, sure.
It's a 2-hour session.
Sure.
Kumar will explain everything in detail about what are the building blocks of cloud and what are the services they are going to offer and what are the different players in cloud, everything. It's easy for you to understand further about this cloud through this session. So, Kumar, it's better to interact with them in these 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah, sure, him. Well, friends, so we're finding here a bunch of participants. I just wanted to know, all of you are from IT background or you're from non-IT? How many of us are students here? Let's say you're recent graduates and job seekers. Anyone here? So the more you interact in this session, the more you gain, what's say, knowledge from this session. Okay, so feel free, just don't assume these are some academic classes. These are just career defining discussions where you should be glad to introduce yourself and should talk it to. Okay, so please go ahead. How many of us are students here? Just raise your hands.
I,
Yeah, Sridhar. Hey, Sridhar.
yes, yes, sir. I'm passing graduate.
Oh, Sridhar, you're breaking. Yeah, others friends. I find Navya, Radhika, Pavani, Neha, Nikita. So all of us are students. Anyone from IT background? Anyone from non-IT?
Sir, this is Priyanka. Hello.
Hi, Priyanka. Hi, hi.
Yeah, I am from IT background, like long back ago, like 7 to 8 years back.
Oh,
Later on, in order to raise my kids and all, I have joined in one engineering college. Okay. So again, I wanted to turn back my profession to IT. So that
oh,
is the reason why I have joined
yeah.
today's meeting.
Perfect, Priyanka. Perfect. So this, as I said at the beginning, this session fits everyone: IT professionals, non-IT candidates, students, administrators, right? All the categories of IT, non-IT, and just what's the enthusiasts who are willing to know what is cloud. I just came here to know what is cloud because there's a buzz around, the what's say IT, what's say about cloud computing. I just want to know what is cloud. Even such what's say enthusiasts are also welcome. Gain some knowledge out of this session today. Okay, so this is open to everyone, right? And by the end of the session, you get to know should you learn cloud or not. What's in which areas should you dive in the field of IT? Why there is a importance given more to the cloud, right? Is it what's a fading technology or it's going to evolve an evergreen technology? All these we're going to explore in detail and we're going to discuss in great detail. Yeah, team. So I'm assuming all of you as beginners only. Okay. For now, let me put it this way: I'm assuming all of you as beginners and at cloud level, and as we what's a promoted, say um, AWS Cloud for absolute beginners. So I'm going to walk you through the discussions of cloud, giving you some cloud introductions. Followed by that, we'll understand AWS exclusively. We'll talk about AWS for some time, and then we'll dive into what's say some AWS key terminology. Let's try to understand. And towards the end of the session, I'll give you a demo session where you create your own website and you host your website at AWS cloud level. But within a matter of minutes, how to do that, we're going to what's say learn in this session. Okay, so for the first 1 hour to 1.5 hour, the session is totally what's a theoretical discussion. But towards the end, I'll give you a complete example or a use case where, let's say, if you want to prepare a web resume and you want to host it online at AWS cloud level, how you can easily do without spending any money, how you can host your own website, let's say your resume or your your business website. I'll show you that. Yeah, team. So I think we are good to continue. It's already 10:15. Oh, sorry, 10:13. I believe we are good to go. Yeah. So Hemantji, shall we continue? Sir, Hemant Garu, you are there? Yeah. Well, team. So let's continue. Let's get
Hemant
started.
is not there. I'll inform what.
Uh, Fine. So we're good to go. Shall we continue the session?
Yeah, just wait for a few minutes. I'll continue.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, friends, at times I may speak in Telugu as well. So, how many of us here are Telugu participants? Anyone who doesn't know Telugu, I believe majority of us are all from Telugu states only. But anyone say here who don't know Telugu? Okay.
Yeah, Kumar, we can start the session.
Yeah, fine, Hemant. So, yeah, fine. Then let's continue, friends. So, welcome to this very first webinar session, AWS Cloud, and session is hosted by Career Bridge IT Services. So, friends, let's just a quick introduction about our institution, our organization, Career Bridge. So, we are let's say an established organization. We established back in 2015. This is the best industry in Hyderabad for IT training. We are offering around 70 plus courses, various courses in IT. And so far from Career Bridge IT Services, there are around some 20,000 participants so far. They got trained and they got placement in multiple organizations. And we do have, connections with multiple multinational corporations. We got tied up with hundreds of companies, and thereby you get here not only a training, but also placement assistance. Right? And the intention here is not just to train you and complete courses and make money. Our intention is very valid. And our intention is very ethical. We not only just wanted to train you, but also nurture you in your career. Whatever you learn here, you should what say get the best out of it. Whatever the effort you're putting, let's say if you enroll for some course at Career Bridge, you got to put all your effort to get placed in an organization. That way, Sir Hemant here and all the team of Career Bridge, they guide you, they make you understand the concepts. We make you practice more on the real time use cases, and we make you get you placed in some organizations because we have such good connections with some healthy organizations, healthy companies. And yeah, you can treat Career Bridge as your best friend, the best companion for students who are recently graduated, job seekers. Like say you are a job seeker, you're willing to enhance your skill. Yes, you can look for Career Bridge without any doubt. And if you want to pursue any international education, Career Bridge offers what's the services in that aspect too. And if you're willing to do any certifications, like say you're done with the course AWS and you want to get certified from AWS, certified solutions architect associate or a Kubernetes certified administrator. So we help you in providing certification level of courses and we help you in aiding getting your certification. Okay. So in all possible ways, A to Z services we are offering for students who are willing to get into the field of IT. Okay. you are from IT background or you're from non-IT background, we got a wide range of courses that fit your requirements to achieve your dream IT job. You can visit our website careerbridgeit.in, where you find what are the services, what and all the services that we are offering. You get a complete overview about CareerBridge IT in detail. Okay, our lab assistants, from trainers, from the management to what's the lab assistants, everyone's driven towards offering you a better service and offering you what better solutions for you to get succeeded in IT. Yeah, friends. So feel free to go through our website too. You get a bunch of details about all the courses that we are offering, uh, where we are located, what we're doing, and what we did in the past. You can find some testimonials over there. What students say about us. All the details you can find at careerbridgeit.in. And I got to add a few more words here, not just what say. I'm just giving a hype, but in reality, I know the person here, Mr. Heyman. He was once working for some of the multinational corporations. He is at a very high position as a what say as a marketing director, as a lead. He was at a very good position working for multinational corporations, but all of a sudden I don't know why he took a turn and why he went to this offering educational what's institution. But as a person, he is very much into what say supporting students. He is completely what say as a trainer, even he what say he warns me at times that you should provide good education. I always listen to students, to always give a better education to students. So we are all driven by that motive, and we are all very much into what say nurturing your what say career. Your what say career is our responsibility. In that pattern, we work all together with CareerBridge IT. Yeah, for the past 3 years, I've been associated with CareerBridge IT services. Yeah, friends, so feel free to go through the website. You get more and more details about CareerBridge. And if you have time, if you're from Hyderabad, just visit us, go through our premises so that you get to know what we are doing here at CareerBridge. Yeah, so that's all. A quick introduction about our organization and about me, the trainer. I got around 14 plus years of experience in IT. I worked for various technologies like what they into hardware, networking, databases. I'm into DevOps. I'm into cybersecurity and all. And I've been training people for the past 5 years, and for the past 3 years, I've been associated with career.
Kumar,
తినడానికి
sorry
Yeah,
to interrupt you.
పని లేదు
Yeah, guys, please put your mic on mute. It is
online
generated.
candidates. Yeah, please remain on mute because this recorded session we provide you, and some participants who are unable to join, we are going to provide them too. So if you're turning on your what's say uh, mics, what happens? Others they feel distracted, right? So please cooperate with us. Turn off your cameras. Turn off your what's say speakers, your mics, because this is not an interactive, meaning a video session. So Prahlad, please turn off your camera. Your camera is on. Yeah, Prahlad, please turn off your mobile, your mic too. Yeah, well, team. So let's continue. So this is, the a quick discussion I'd like to walk you through in this webinar. First, cloud introductions. Next, we'll talk about cloud computing deployment models. Guys, please remain on mute. Prahlad, your mic is still on, so please turn it off. Yeah. So, friends, this is these are the discussions that we're going to have today. First, cloud introduction. What is cloud computing? We'll discuss about that for a few minutes, and then cloud computing deployment models, followed by that cloud computing service models. Once the first set of discussions are over, then we dive into what's the next set of discussions. Like we talk about AWS cloud, Next, AWS global infrastructure, and followed by that quick hands-on example where I'll show you how to create a website and host a website at the cloud level. We'll discuss if at all we were to do this manually without cloud, how much time it takes and how much effort we should put. And I will discuss that, and then I'll show you, if you know cloud computing, how easy it is to host a website, at ease. We'll see this discussion in this session today. Okay, this is the agenda for our discussion today. So let's jump in and understand the next set of activities. The very first thing is all about cloud. So what is cloud computing? Yeah, anyone would like to share what you know in your words? What is cloud computing? Yeah, friends, anyone would like to give a try? What is cloud? What do you know about cloud?
A network can't be deleted.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Sridhar.
In either many of yes.
So okay, let's understand. So cloud is a collection of computing resources that you can access over the internet. Okay? It's a very simple definition. Cloud computing is nothing but cloud computing is all about you're collecting what's a huge set of computing resources over the medium internet. What resources are you collecting? Means CPU, storage, memory, and network. So this is a definition way to what's a older definition. Cloud is a collection of computing resources over the web. But nowadays, cloud is not just a collection of computing resources, but also software, but also platforms, functions, and so on and on. So, but for now, let's make it very simple. A cloud computing refers to nothing but a collection of computing resources like hardware, like storage, network, CPUs, memory, and so on from the medium internet. Now, if you need a server, let's say some a server with some operating system, you have to go to a what's say some store, purchase a hardware, and then once you avail the hardware, in that hardware you install software, and then you consume that resource. But now, instead of purchasing some hardware at a higher price, what you do is you rent whatever is required for you for your what's the needs from the cloud vendors, right? So there is a platform like Amazon, there's a platform Microsoft, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. There are a lot of vendors who are offering you services, cloud services, meaning all the CPU, storage, network, and memory. For some price through the medium internet. All you do is just avail them and consume them. Okay? So cloud computing is something similar to, let's say, in very simple terms, you renting a car, right? Let's say if you want to you got no car, and you want to travel, say, from Hyderabad to some other state, like Goa. Now if you got to purchase your own car, how much amount you got to invest? You'd invest a lot, right? And after that, car registration process, again, after that, you have to go through the insurance you got to insure your car. There are a lot of things when you're owning a car. You have to put a lot of effort, and you got to spend more and more. Not just let's say just to travel from Hyderabad to Goa. If you're purchasing a car, you're investing a lot. But just to fulfill that requirement, you don't need really a car forever, but you just need a car just for a vacation. In such a case, just to meet your requirement, if you rent a car, what's happening there? You're not investing more money over there. You're just investing for whatever the service that time that you require that car. You're investing only for that, right? So cloud computing is something like that. When you wanted some resources, instead of purchasing those resources, instead of you manually putting a lot of effort into managing those resources, and getting what's say severely billed, what's happening is you are availing those resources from the cloud platforms. We got AWS as a cloud platform, Azure from Microsoft, Google Cloud Platform, and so on and on. So with all these different cloud platforms, what we do is we avail resources, from them, and we pay rent only for the what's say for the time that we consume those resources. Yeah. Once we are done with our requirement, what we do, we just stop those resources, and we just disenroll from that service. Like say once you're done with your vacation, what you do, you submit the car what you rented back to the travels guy, and you're just relieved from it. No more hazels, nothing. But if you own a car, what happens? Every year you have to, what say, you have to renew the insurance. You got to renew the pollution certificate. Whenever you're hitting the road, you have to make sure that your what say your car is equipped with fuel, and so on and on. If you're traveling over a highway, your car should have what's a fast tag. But all these areas you should keep on focusing. When you owned a car, let's say if you're not consuming it, if you're not using it, let's say if you kept it for 1 month, you're not using it, what happens? The car gets into trouble, and again you have to get it repaired. For that repair, again you have to pay money, and so on. So when you own a resource, you have to manage the resource, and for that you have to spend a lot of money. But when you're renting a resource, what happens? Only for the time that you're renting that resource, you pay only for it, and you get relieved. You're not no longer having any sort of management issues. So cloud computing in simple terms is that, yeah, friends, I need a server and I want to perform some activities. In such a case, what's a purchasing hardware and installing some software in it, purchasing software and installing software, and then consuming that resource. It's a way too costly approach. But coming to the cloud platforms, cloud is way too cheaper when compared to on-premise environments, right? So cloud computing refers to the way. What is it? It's all about getting resources from the vendor, like storage, processing power, software applications over the medium internet. Now, say, friends, for example, a very basic example I'd like to give you. Say, if I want to, if I want to avail a Linux operating system, say I am learning Linux operating system and I need a Linux server. So, in order to have a Linux server, let's say you purchase the laptop, and in that laptop you install Linux operating system. Yeah, back in the past we were doing that. But what is the point of when you're using that Linux operating system only for, what's say, for some of your academic project? Once the project is over, you're not touching that laptop anymore. So in that case, what's the point of purchasing hardware and installing the software and then consuming it? So if you avail a service from the cloud, like let's say every Gmail user, let's say if you own a Gmail account, every Gmail user is provided with a free Linux server, and all you do is log in with your what's a Google account to some Google cloud site, and if you invoke a server, what happens? You get a free Linux server offered to you. And how you are connecting to it means with the help of the medium internet, you are connecting to it. So this way, cloud became way too cheaper, and cloud computing is one of the most in demand skill, because organizations identified they don't need to spend more and more investment over the cloud platform. Just a second, friends, I'll show you. If at all we own, what's say, yeah, friends. So if at all we own, let's say, some server, what happens? Let's see some quick use case. If at all, let's say, I want to start a business, which is, say, some web hosting company. Let's say, for example, out of you, the participants, say Kavita here, Kavita Sangeetam, she got some website, some e-commerce website, and we got to host her website online. Okay, and her website should be always running 24 by 7, 365 days. Her website should always run. Now, what's happening is, friends, I am given a chance. Let's say Kavita, she approached me. I own some software company, and Kavita, she approached me, and she said, "Hey Prashant, I need a website always running. So now, what should I do? Let's say, what should I do if I own some web hosting company? What should I do? Let me explain, friends. Just a second. Let's have a look here. Yeah, friends. So my screen is visible, team, for all of you. Let's see some quick use case where, let's say, Kavita here. Kavita owns a business, and she is willing to run some e-commerce, an e-commerce platform like Amazon or Flipkart. Yeah, let's say Kavita's store.com, and where you find all products related to makeup and so on. Kavita is hosting some website. Sorry, Kavita owns a website, and in that website, she's selling a lot of products. Now, I got to host her website. Me as a, let's say, as a web hosting company, what should I do? I got to make my client's website running all the time. Yeah. So if some end users, when they reach to the website kavitastore.com, they should get the website displayed and they should shop online, purchasing the products offered by Kavita. Now, as a web hosting company, now what should I do? I have to ensure this website is always running. Kavita's website is always running. So for that, all I have to do is, let's say, within my organization, I have a very powerful server, and in that powerful server, all I have to do is maintain Kavita's website. Yep, and I got to maintain that website. So all the target audience of Kavita's business, they are reaching to my server, and from my server, they're gaining access to Kavita's website. Yeah, friends. So now, as a web hosting company, now what should I do? I have to ensure that this server, let's say this red box here, this is my server. That server should run 24 by 7, 365 days. Right? Because the websites, when we access the website, let's say you're not feeling sleepy, and middle of the night at 12 o'clock, you open Amazon website. It's working for us. Early the morning, you open Flipkart website. It's working for us. Some organizations announce sales at the late nights, 10 p.m. today. IQ is what's announcing some sale, and we are all ready to avail that. And no matter for websites, what happens when end user reaches to a website, we don't know, and thereby what happens? We want this website to be running all the time, 24 by 7, 365 days. And now this website is residing in some server, and that server should also run 24 by 7, 365 days. So now, friends, now all I have to do is here, when I am owning a web hosting company, all I have to do is first things first, I got to make sure that I dedicate, yeah, a server room, a dedicated server room I should have. And in that dedicated server room, I add all the servers. And for that server room, there should be a what's say authorized access only. I got to limit access to that server room. Only authorized people should get into that server room. Meaning, first things first, I should have a physical space. In that physical space, I have to create a dedicated server room, and I have to set an authorized access for that server room. Next step. Next thing, I have to ensure there is a 24 by 7 power supply to that server. 24 by 7 power supply to that server. Why is that? Because now if a server is running, then an application is running, and from that application, the website is visible to target audience, end users of Kavita's business. So in order to this website to run 24 by 7, what is required? This server should run 24 by 7, and servers run over power supply, and how to ensure that my office space has, or at least my server room has, a 24 by 7 power supply. Okay, I got to ensure that. Next, if at all, if there is a power outage in an in the city, then what should I do? I have to plan in advance that there is a backup power backup. Because if I say, if this server is dead and Kavita's website is not available, now my client Kavita is reaching me and she is asking me, hey, what's wrong with your company? Why my website is not running? Now I cannot say silly answers like there is no power, that's where your website is not running, right? So I got to ensure that there is a 24 by 7 power supply. If not, I have to plan a power backup and make the websites of my client running all the time. And next thing, friends, what else? When servers are running 24 by 7, they do generate some tremendous amount of heat, right? So thereby, what should I do? I have to plan a proper cooling facility, right? So we all visit, ATMs. ATMs are running 24 by 7. That's where they're always enclosed in AC room, right? So why is that? Because if servers gets overheated, what happens? The servers might get crashed, and thereby all the applications in the server gets crashed too. So I have to ensure there is a 24 by 7 cooling facility on that server. Now, yeah, Suresh, any questions? Suresh, please remain on mute. Yeah. So now, friends, now again, one more thing. In terms of security, now let's say Kavita's website and Kavita's business is running so successfully, where her competitors are not willing her to do what the proper business. and thereby there are some attacks happening on this website, and they're willing to get this website down. So when there are some intruders who are willing to gain access to this website and destroy the business of my client, what should I do as a web hosting company? How to secure my servers from malicious attacks, right? Some hackers are trying to, what's it, compromise my client's website, and they're constantly hitting my servers to destroy Kavita's website. Now, what should I do? How to ensure that my servers are secure? They're not given access to hackers. So thereby, what should I do? I may have to hire some ethical hackers here to protect my digital assets. I may have to hire system administrators to make sure that the server here is equipped with enough storage, enough CPU, enough memory, and so on. Likewise, I may have to hire some network administrators, what say, to make sure that the connections are secure, and the ports, protocols, everything are maintained, and the websites of the client are not being harmed. So when you're putting this huge amount of effort in maintaining a server on premise, what happens? By the end of the month, you're getting a huge bill. As a web hosting company, you're getting a huge bill for maintaining this server and maintaining the applications of your client. Right? How much bill? Maybe, let's say, in simple terms, if we talk about, let's say, I want to travel from Hyderabad to Vishakhapatnam, let's say, in my own car. Now, what are the all aspects that I should consider before I travel? I just don't take my car and drive. I have to prepare myself in multiple terms. Like, say, the fast tag is equipped with enough amount or not. My car is in good condition or not. If I'm hiring a driver, do I have enough money to pay wage to the driver or not? Likewise, petrol. How much petrol is required for me. Likewise, the road conditions. Everything I should analyze, and then I should start my journey. Yeah, and let's say from Hyderabad to Vizag and again back from Vizag to Hyderabad, this entire round trip costed me when I went in a car, say some 20,000 or 25,000, right? But what if I avail, let's say, what if I avail, sorry, in this journey, what's happening? These are all the things that I have to consider. Like I got to consider the car condition, fuel. Next, if I'm hiring a driver, I have to pay wage for him, fast tags, right? And so on and on. If my car troubled me somewhere, pay wage for the the garage charges we got to pay. All these are your considerations. But now, let's say, friends, if at all I took a bus, if at all I took a bus, and for one way they're charging me 2,000, and if I book a ticket, both, a round trip ticket, they're giving me a discount, and thereby what's happening? I'm availing a bus ticket only for 3,500 rupees to go to Vizag and get back from Vizag. And now, when compared with say me traveling in my car, and when compared with me, say availing a service from some transport, what's happening? My effort is getting greatly reduced, right? When we take a bus, whether the bus is in good condition or not, it's not our responsibility. Whether the bus has enough fuel or not, it's not our responsibility, right? Whether the bus driver has enough money to pay for the fast tag or not at all our responsibility, right? Our responsibility is just when the bus starts, get into the bus, take your seat and sit, and rest of all are taken by the travels guy. You reach to your destination, and again you commence your journey from there and get back to your source location, right? And for this entire journey, it's costing you only 3,500 rupees or something like that. So when you're traveling in your car, it's the expenditure is more. When you're traveling when you're availing a service from public transport, your cost is getting pretty reduced. So the same thing here, friends. As a web hosting company, when I'm having servers maintained within my organization on premise, I have to put this much effort. I got to maintain a dedicated server room, authorized access only to that server room, 24 by 7 power supply, power backup, cooling facilities. All these I should consider, and thereby, end of every month, I'm getting greatly charged, or I'm getting what's a huge maintenance bill. Now comes, how can I, get benefited without having, considerations in all these areas? How I can avail, some service, sorry, how can I spend less and reduce this investment? How can I reduce my cost that's costing me a lot, and I'm maintaining servers on premise. Means the solution is adapting to the cloud platforms. Yeah, friends, we just discussed about cloud. Cloud is a collection of computing resources that we avail over the medium internet. Now, collection of computing resources, meaning CPU, storage, network, memory, and so on and on. We can avail from the internet through some vendors like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud Platform, etc. So now, Kavita's website, let's keep it aside for some time. And now, friends, if I avail a service from the cloud vendor, yeah, friends, let's say if I avail now, I'm not having any server on my own. Instead, what I do is now I'm opting for some service from the cloud vendor. Say this is a cloud platform like AWS, Amazon Web Services. And from here, from Amazon Web Services, what am I doing is to run Kavita's website, I need a server with two CPUs, two what say GB of RAM, and maybe some, let's say 20 GB of hard disk. Whatever are required for me, the computing resources, I'm availing from AWS cloud. Okay, and this for these services, AWS is charging me for availing this. These resources, AWS is charging me. Yeah, let's say some 100 rupees per month, or maybe some 300 rupees per month, something like that. Now the hardware is not on my local or in my environment. The entire hardware, everything is offered by the cloud vendor, and everything is maintained in their what say cloud farm, not in our local location anymore, right? So you are availing Facebook. So Facebook you are availing through the medium internet, and the Facebook application is hosted somewhere in Facebook servers. Yeah, maybe in Mumbai or Hyderabad or Chennai. In some location, Facebook web servers are running, and you're connecting there, and you're just doing all your posts and everything. Likewise, Gmail account. When you're sending email, receiving email, all those mails are not stored on your local machines, on your laptops. All this data that you're sending or receiving, everything is maintained in a cloud platform, in some cloud server offered by Google. Right? Similarly, now to host my client's website, what am I doing is whatever the requirement I want, I'm availing that requirement from the cloud vendor. Yeah, friends. So now the cloud vendor is offering me a resource for some price, and all I do is I just host my website for my cloud vendor's server. Now, since the server is provided by the cloud vendor, who should take care of all these aspects, like a dedicated server room? You don't need to worry about it. Authorized access, of course, you are the authorized guy. AWS provides you authorization to connect to the server. So, of course, you are going to be the authorized person to connect to the server. 24 by 7 power supply is no longer your responsibility. Yeah, 24 by 7 power supply is no longer your responsibility. The cloud vendor is the one who provides that. They are giving you some server, and they have to ensure that the server is always running. So the cloud is liable for providing you a server 24 by 7, 365 days. Power backup, if there is a power outage in the data center of cloud, you are not responsible for that. Cooling facility, you are not responsible for that, right? If the servers are getting hacked, or what say everything, rest of all the activities, you are no longer responsible. The cloud vendor is responsible for providing you with a server 24 by 7, 365 days, and you just pay money for that, for availing that server, right, friends? So cloud computing is all about that. You rent a resource from the cloud vendor rather than what say you owning it. When you own a server and you maintain your business on within your on premise, these are all the areas that you got to put effort. A dedicated server room, you got to make sure that server room is authorized by only some authorized professionals. See, if you visit a bank, at a bank you find a server room, a dedicated server room. Are we given access to it directly? Yeah, you went to a bank and you just walk down to a what's say a server room. Just say, "Sir, I'm a MCS student or I'm a BCS student. I just want to know how servers work. I just want to get into your server room." What do? They just quickly deny, and they throw you out, saying, "No, you're not authorized." But only some authorized personnel are given access to that room. Yet 24 by 7 power supply, everything the bank is responsible to maintain. Right? So in these areas, what's happening here? The companies, they're getting more and more what's say charged, and their maintenance of those servers, they're investing a lot there, and they're running into losses. So, friends, one quick thing I'd like to discuss here. It's out of the subject though, but still, I just want to make it clear for you. So, no matter you're learning cloud or you're willing to learn any other technologies, when you're entering an organization, when you're entering a software organization, you have a responsibility. What is that means? You should benefit your software organization. Cost optimization or lesser spending. This is one quick rule that everyone should avail or everyone should adapt to. Cost optimization or lesser spending, meaning whatever the services that or you're consuming there or whatever the solutions that you're preparing for your software organization, you have to identify a cost effective solution, meaning your company should get benefited out of your solutions, right? Cost optimization or lesser spending. When you are willing to make a career in IT in two cloud platforms, you have to benefit your software organizations by offering a cost effective solution. Yep. Any organization, any business you take of any domain, everyone's role or everyone's what's say intention is to do profit, right? Everyone's intention is to do profits. Now, see, Career Bridge here, we are into what's say offering quality education, and even we are also running uh, the organization with some sort of our what's say our benefit. Our benefit is lying within you. When you get a job, when you get succeeded in your uh, in your career, and you refer us to some other students, that gives us utmost happiness, right? With that intention, we are running, and we are into we are into trainings. We are into offering what a hell lot of services pertaining only to students, benefiting students. Likewise, when you're running, if you own a software company or you are a part of a software company, even you, what is your main intention? Your main goal is to get a cost-effective solution. Spend less, more, do more profit. Right? So, how to spend less? When you are, let's say, working for some company and you are proposing, let's purchase a huge set of servers and let's maintain them in a cooling room. Let's ensure 24 by 7 power supply and so on. And that entire budget, it's spiking up. But now cloud computing. Now what you do? Let's say if you don't know cloud and you propose this to your organization. Now when you're a part of a software organization, what am I saying is you have to benefit the company. So now when you know cloud computing, what you do? You now you get estimation from the cloud vendor saying, I need this server for this amount of time. So how much do I get charged? And now when you compare, on-premise is costing more the company and cloud is costing very less, then what you do? You have to propose a cloud solution to your company, right, friends? So this way, this is one major rule that every IT professional who is working in a software company should follow. Don't just let your organization purchase hardware or software. If there are any other possibilities that your organization gets benefited, you have to propose those, right? Cost optimization or lesser spending. So now I hope you got some idea about cloud. Cloud is all about, friends, availing something from the vendors like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud Platform. There are around 63 plus public cloud platforms available now. Not just AWS. There are around 63 plus public cloud platforms available. అంటే చూడండి ఇప్పుడు మనం లెట్స్ ఐ వాంట్ టు ట్రావెల్ ఫ్రమ్ హైదరాబాద్ టు వైజాగ్. APSRTC is the only service I have, or do I have different vendors providing me travel service? మీరు చెప్పండి. Do we have only public transport which is only APSRTC or only railway trains? No, definitely not, right? We have different sort of transports. If you get to our office during the night, you find hell lot of transport. The buses coming from Mirpur towards to different the country, right? So you find hell lot of transports. Different buses from different vendors. So similarly, cloud is a collection of computing resources that you avail from different vendors. Amazon are the beginners. They are the beginners who started cloud computing. Followed by Amazon, Microsoft started Azure. And next, Google started their Google Cloud platform. Followed by that, Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, right? Next, we got Alibaba Cloud, which is a Chinese cloud platform, right? And so on. Huawei Cloud. Next, we got any digital ocean cloud platform, and so on and on and on. And there are still like a lot of cloud platforms kicking in, and all their goal is to offer services to customers. Offer services to customers. Customers might be an individual or some huge business company, and all they do is offer some services to customers at some price. So who are the customers for cloud platforms? Means majority of all the MNC companies are customers for all these different cloud vendors. Yeah, majority of all the cloud vendors are all the MNC companies, startup companies are customers for these cloud platforms. Right, friends. So and of course Amazon, Azure, all these they are when we talk about cloud computing, they are all offering the same sort of service. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, functions as service, and so on. We'll talk about that shortly. Okay, but by now I believe you got some idea about what is cloud and what are we trying to do. Cloud platform. Any questions here, friends, before we dive into the next part? Any questions here? The team online candidates, please go ahead. Questions? Question. So how many of us are listening actively and how many of us are sleeping? Just kidding, because it's a Sunday. I know it's a bit hectic, but still, friends, I appreciate all your effort. Whoever joined here, I really, appreciate all of you, because you're putting effort. You want to learn something. That is that's going to define your career. Appreciate all of you. Friends. Well done, team. Okay, so let's wait. Just wait for few more minutes. I'll try to conclude it faster only. Okay, so this is all about cloud, and next we'll talk about. So now you got to know that cloud, for the very first reason is you're getting benefited. You're getting you're getting benefited a lot, and you're spending very less. If it is costing let's say some $100 to host Kavita's website on my server, on-premise server, every month. If I avail the same server from the cloud vendor, it's costing me only $10 per month. See, there is a drastic difference, right? $100 and $10. When there is such great difference, what's happening is organizations are adapting to what the cost-effective solutions. Thereby, there's a great demand to the cloud platform. Now, these are all the key characteristics of cloud computing, like on-demand self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measured service. I'll explain all these bit later when we get deeper into the subject. Then I'll talk about them. Meaning, whenever you want to avail a cloud service, you can just go to the cloud vendor and ask them, hey cloud vendor, I need this service, and they just they make it available to you faster. Why is that? Means, now let's say if we go to say some if we go to say some car rental company, and if you want to rent a car, yes, they are ready to rent your car. Why is that? They are not just maintaining one single car or two cars. They're maintaining a huge pile of vehicles, and they wanted to engage more and more customers, so that what happens, they do more and more profits. Similarly, cloud vendors, they have a huge pile of resources. They're not just limited, they're great in size, enormous configurations. So whenever you want some server, you just opt for a server, and you get it immediately from the cloud vendor. Broad network access, meaning cloud services are available over the internet from various locations, as you can easily access them. And they're compatible for any device type: laptops, smartphones, tablets, and so on. Resource pooling. Now, let's say you availed a service from the cloud vendor, and now you want more. First, you took one single server. That is not sufficient. You need more resources on it. Yes, you can scale up those resources or scale down those resources, right? And whatever you consume, only for that you're being paid, you're being charged. See, friends, now pay as you go. There is a back then there is a mobile strategy. When you make a call, per second call, meaning how many seconds you talk, only for those seconds you get charged. Similarly, cloud too. When you are consuming a resource, only for that you get charged, and rest of the other time you're not getting charged, right? So thereby your budgets are getting very friendly, meaning your budgets are not exceeding, right? So all we got to do is we should master how to consume cloud computing, so thereby we can get much more better results from the cloud platform. Like say friends, for example, I said before, let's say Kavita's website, when I'm running for an entire month, I'm getting charged of $10. Now I can furthermore trim down that cost by doing something like this. Let's say Kavita's website, it's when I found Kavita's website, her website is operational, meaning users are operating or users are reaching to the website of Kavita only from morning 6 a.m. till evening 6 p.m. And rest of all the time, the website is not receiving any any hits, right? And Kavita did state that my website, it runs only 12 hours, only the daytime. I don't want the website running at the night. Now I can offer much more better solution to Kavita, something like this. What I do is I host the server from the cloud and I run the server run the server from morning till evening. After 6 p.m. the server shuts down, and followed by that, what's happening is Kavita is not getting charged because the server is no longer running. The cloud vendor is not charging her. And again, the next day, I'll start the server at morning 6 a.m. and run the server till 6 p.m. I attach a schedule there, and every day, since I attach the schedule, when the schedule time reaches, automatically the server gets started, and automatically at 6 p.m. the server shuts down. Again, the next morning the server starts, and the next evening the server stops. So this way, if we furthermore consume our resources according to our requirement, what happens? There is a chance that we get much more lesser bill. Like say maybe only a $5 per month. So when you're maintaining a resource on premise and you're getting charged $100, and now when you're consuming a cloud resource, which is also giving the same result, and you're getting charged only for $5, then who is going to opt for on premise anymore, right? So this way, friends, we should know, when we master the art of how to consume cloud resources, you can avail much more better better solutions, or you can avail much more better cost effective solutions from the cloud vendor. Now, having said all this, whatever we discussed, let's say these are all the advantages of the cloud, like scalability, cost efficiency, accessibility, flexibility. These are all the different, advantages of the cloud platform. You don't need to worry about, say, you availed one service, but if you want more services, yes, we can avail from them. Scalability, cost efficiency, you're spending very less. Accessibility, you can access cloud resources from anywhere, from your laptop, from your mobile phone, from your tablet, etc. Flexibility, you can choose the infrastructure, I want it to run only from morning to evening. That's it. Later, I don't want it to run it. So you have the flexibility to control your resources. Reliability, cloud resources are reliable, meaning the vendor is responsible for making the resources that you're availing available to you all the time. Antecedently, let's say I opted for Uber cab, right? And now the cab driver and the company Uber, they are responsible for providing me providing me the vehicle for the ride that I booked. Now let's say somewhere the car broke down, then what happens? Uber should arrange me a new car there, because I already paid for the service. And now what should the company Uber do? Since they took money from me for some service, they have to provide me the service, even though the problem is at their end, or even though there's a problem pertained there. They should provide me again a new cab and take me to my destination. Automatic updates, improved collaboration, disaster recovery. Now let's say you created a server in the cloud, and all of a sudden the server got crashed. What happens is, cloud vendors, they have some recovery solutions. Once a server is crashed, immediately a new server gets created and it's available to you. So cloud vendors have such sophisticated solutions for us. So disasters, even though they occur at the cloud level, you don't need to worry about your data. You have all your data secured. You have all your applications always running. Innovation and agility, meaning when there are new features being released into the market, those are all added to the added to the cloud platform too. So initially, when cloud started, they were offering only a solution which is servers. They're offering us only servers. But later, what happened? They started adding services too, and now we are availing hell lot of services from the cloud vendors. See, back then, Gmail, Google, they offered us only to send emails. That is it. Google, they gave us only with Google, we were able to do search, of course, search engine, Google, we know. Next, they started off with Gmails, right? After that, what happened? They started off, adding more and more resources. Now, if you want to prepare your resume, you prepare through Google Docs. If you want to do some, uh, accounting activities, Google Sheets, right? And let's say you want to connect to a meeting online, Google Meet, right? YouTube is owned by Google. See now how they, Google innovated into multiple areas and engaging us, the customers. But similarly, cloud vendors too, they offer they do a lot of innovations, and they do they revise their applications more and more and make us more friendly to consume their resources. Now, having said all these friends, positives అన్ని విన్న తర్వాత డోంట్ జస్ట్ గో విత్ క్లౌడ్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇన్ని పాజిటివ్స్ మనం మాట్లాడుకున్న తర్వాత నౌ లెట్స్ సే ఇఫ్ యువర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యు ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ ఫర్ సమ్ హెచ్డిఎఫ్సి బ్యాంక్ అండ్ the client asked you, I need a solution when I'm maintaining servers on premise, I'm getting charged a lot. So you propose me some solution. Let's say some bank approached us. Now we know all the advantages of cloud, and we say, let's say we go to the client and say, why are you spending a lot of amount and maintaining servers on premise? Switch to the cloud, if you said. Now, you should know the limitations of the cloud too. We should not just go by the hype, or we should not just go by advantages only. We have to identify the limitations too. So what are the limitations of the cloud? Security concerns, meaning when you're creating some resource in the cloud and you are availing it and you're consuming it, you have to make sure that you are maintaining or you are maintaining data security and privacy over that application. అంటే నేను నా అకౌంట్లో ఒక సర్వర్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నానండి AWS క్లౌడ్లో, and I'm least bothered. I'm publishing and I'm exposing it to everyone. Now anybody can connect to my server. So I have to make sure that when I'm availing a service from the cloud, I have to maintain security. If not, what happens? Security concerns do arise. Next, data privacy and compliance. Very, very important. Compliance issues, governing bodies. What does this data privacy and compliance mean? Let me explain. Say, we all know that, when we talk about some banks like Swiss Bank, what comes to our mind? These billionaires, they put all the black money in Swiss Bank. Now, how much money is residing of some billionaire in a Swiss bank? Even the government of India, when they're trying to ask them the details, what the Swiss bank says, no, boss, we are not supposed to give you any sort of information about our customer. Isn't it? Let's say there are a lot of millionaires, yep, and they're putting all their money, all lot of politicians. We've been hearing in the newspapers that some politician put all the black money in a Swiss bank. But how much amount? How much amount of let's say some billionaire is in a Swiss bank? Why we are not able to get that information? Why is it not getting possible for a hacker to get into the banking softwares of Swiss bank and get all the information? Because their data is residing in their country. The data of that bank is residing within that country, within the organization's on-premise servers only. It's not maintained anywhere at the cloud level, right? Because there are some rules imposed by the governments like this. Let's say, friends, Indian government, all the data of Indian army should be maintained only within the army premises, within the servers in that army camp, not in the cloud. Likewise, a bank, they should maintain all the data of the citizens of India in their banking servers only, not in the cloud. If a government made a rule like that, then everyone should abide by that rule, isn't it? Right? Everyone should abide by that rule. That's where you find mostly in banking sectors, you find there is a dedicated server room, and all the data is maintained within the banking server's dedicated server rooms only. Yeah. So if at all there is a government rule that is that is kicking in and saying that the data should be within this particular organization's on premise only. In such cases, you are not supposed to you are not supposed to say that, or you're not supposed to propose that that company maintain your data in the cloud. ఎందుకంటే అక్కడ గవర్నమెంట్ క్లియర్‌గా చెప్తుంది. ద డేటా షుడ్ బి వితిన్ ద ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ ఆన్ ప్రిమైస్ సర్వర్స్ ఓన్లీ. అక్కడ మనం చేసేది ఏం లేదండి. ఆన్ ప్రిమైస్ సర్వర్స్ పైన మనం ఏమైనా పోనీ వాట్స్ ఏ కాస్ట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ సొల్యూషన్ ఏమైనా తీసుకురాగలిగితే అలా థింక్ చేయాలి తప్ప, యూ ఆర్ నాట్ సపోజ్డ్ టు ప్రపోజ్ ద క్లయింట్ గో టు ద క్లౌడ్, రైట్? బికాస్ if you do so, what's happening? You're overruling the government's rule, and you're liable to some punishment. Right? Next, downtime and reliability. Not all cloud vendors are offering better solutions. Yep. Any travels world kuda, they are not giving me a better solution. Just a second, team. Just give me a minute. I think I'm running out of time. Just a minute. So the thing is, not all the transport, bus transport, they are offering better solutions, right? So, some train journeys we find it. Some train journey you find it very feasible, and some train journeys you find very daunting. No matter you're traveling from one source to destination, yeah, when you're going with multiple transports, what happens? Some transport guy gives you better service, some transport guy gives you a very bitter experience. Similarly, cloud platforms, like if you're relying on AWS, Azure, Google platform, some of these reliable companies, you may get a better service from them. But some cloud vendors, they are not offering better solutions, thereby you may experience a downtime and reliability issues. Next, dependency on the internet, meaning the cloud vendor, they are having their resources working super fine, but you don't have a proper internet connection. Yeah, మనం ఇంకా 3G లేదా 2G వాడుతున్నాం అనుకోండి. What happens? You got a 2G network or a 3G network, and you're trying to open YouTube. What happens? YouTube, it's working super fine, but since your network is slow, what's happening? You're not able to enjoy the content of YouTube. Similarly, dependency on the internet. If your internet speeds are less and you're availing cloud resources, there too you find a lot of latency challenges. Next, vendor lock-in, meaning, see, if you're traveling in your car, you have the flexibility. Whenever you want to start your journey, you start it. Whenever you want to stop, you stop it. Right? When I'm traveling from Hyderabad to Vizag, I want to stop somewhere. Yes, I have the flexibility to stop. I want to stop a complete day in Vijayawada. I want to stop a complete day in Rajahmundry. It's possible for me because it's my car, my wish. Whenever I want to start my journey, I have that flexibility. But when it comes to the cloud, you don't have as such. Whatever the vendor provides you some rules, you have to abide by those rules. When I'm traveling in a bus, wherever the bus stops, I should stop over there. That is it. The bus doesn't stop for me wherever I want them to stop. Similarly, when you're availing from the services from the cloud, you have to rely on the services that they offer. You don't have an option to choose. Like, let's say I need a Seagate hard drive. I need, let's say, some Samsung RAM sticks. No, you are not supposed to opt that. You just have to consume the resource. That's it. Right? Cost management. If you are not consuming the resources properly, there is a possibility that you may get charged a lot. Right? And so these so-called supermarkets and everything, what do? They announce sales. Now, Swiggy, Zomato, 50% off. Yeah, flat 50% off. And you find, let's say, there's a pizza that is coming from for 1,000 rupees. When you see 50% off, what do you do? Let's say you're immediately opting it. And when you go to the billing page, what's happening? There you're finding 600, let's say some 755 rupees, something like that. Why is that? They said 50% off. So 1,000, for 1,000 rupees, 50% off is 500 only. Then why are you not getting it only for 500? Means again that guy, they adds a very small condition over there. Flat 50% off up to 100 rupees or up to maybe some 200 rupees. Meaning the pizza cost is 1,000 rupees, but out of the 1,000 rupees, you're getting 50% off only for 200 rupees, not for the entire 1000. They're tricking that way and they're collecting money. Because any business you take, they run with some what their rules, and their main goal is to make profits, right? Their main goal is to do profit, cheat the customer at any cost. So now, if your cloud vendor is also doing that, when you're not finding that cost management trick, of course you get billed a lot again. Performance and latency issues. Now, say friends, cloud vendors, they maintain their resources across the globe. In US, there are AWS resources, UK, Malaysia, Japan, Thailand. In different areas, AWS cloud is they're operating. And now you got your business in India, but you're creating servers in US. Thereby, what happens? There might be a latency issue. Let me show you a real quick example here. So team, just have a look. Let me go to there's a site called cloudping.info. Let's go to the site cloudping.info. Here, these are all the different areas where AWS is operating. And now, if I just go and say HTTP ping, so now you get some you get some latency, meaning how much time it's taking for me to reach to this area. US is North Virginia, 280 milliseconds. Ohio, 270 milliseconds. Now, if you scroll down, AWS, they got their they got their data centers even in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is by far the very least latency area for me. Now, if instead of creating resources in Hyderabad, I'm creating the resources in US, then what's happening? Obviously, there is a latency that's affecting. If I'm running an e-commerce website in US, but all my customers are from India, what's happening? They're getting affected with this little latency of time. Right, so that's where, friends, you got to understand how to consume your cloud resources. If you're not getting, if you're not getting all these considered, and you're directly jumping to the cloud just by having a look at the advantages only, that's going to impact your business. So there are advantages, there are some limitations we should understand too. Accordingly, we got to act smart. Are we getting it, friends? Yes, no, maybe. Teams, are we getting it? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect, friends. So this is all about what's the AWS cloud advantages, limitations. We are yet to cover a few more concepts. Let's discuss them too. So if I take you to the very first slide, what have we yet to discuss? Let's see. So far, we did cloud computing introductions. Next, we got overview about AWS cloud too, and we got to talk about deployment models, service models. Then I'll talk about AWS global infra and hands-on. Okay, now we are still having 45 minutes of time. Let's wrap our discussions discussing these four modules too. Cloud computing deployment model, service model. I have to give you an overview about AWS global infra and then hands-on, right? So let's jump back and what is cloud computing deployment model and service model? Let's understand. Sorry, Rajesh, please go ahead.
No, nothing. By mistake, it's unmute.
Fine, Rajesh. So friends, there are four cloud computing deployment models. What are they? One is public cloud, the second is private cloud, and the third is community cloud, and fourth, of course, hybrid cloud. So what are these four cloud platforms? Let me explain. Public cloud is something similar to a public transport. In public transport, what you do, you just go to you just book a ticket and travel with other guys to your destination, like a train or a bus and so on. Public cloud vendors, their main goal is to get customers of different, from different areas. Right? They're not just running their service only for one particular target audience. If there is a bus and RTC bus, the target audience are anybody who can get into that bus. Kids, let's say school children, right? Middle-aged men, old-age people, everyone. They're offering service to all categories of people. So public cloud is one such thing that they're expecting customers from any platform. No matter you want a startup company or you own a MNC company, or you just a student, you want to learn, explore cloud platform. The public cloud is open to everyone. So in this public cloud platform, we have AWS, Azure, GCP, and so on and on and on. There are different cloud vendors who are offering services, and those are all categorized as public cloud platform. Now coming to private cloud. What is private cloud? Let's say the convoy of our chief minister, Mr. Revant Reddy. Is it possible for us to get into his convoy? Yeah, friends, is it possible? Or let's say Mr. Ambani's, convoy. No, there is a private company. They are offering what's it service only to some authorized personnel, not everyone. Right? In a CM's convoy, only a CM is liable to travel, not others. Right? Likewise, so private cloud is something similar to, let's say, HDFC Bank. They have their own resources in Hyderabad. They got their own resources in Mumbai, in Chennai, and so on. They're maintaining their own private resources only for their organization, but not for others. Bank of America, they got their servers in US, UK, and other regions. And in their servers, in their cloud platform, they have their own services running, but not others. They're not offering others to get into that cloud platform. Right? So such cloud platforms are private. Next, community cloud. So what is community cloud? Let's say, friends, have you been to Nexus Mall here in Hyderabad? Shopping mall Nexus. So Nexus Mall or any shopping mall you take, when you get into a shopping mall, are you finding only one particular vendor there, like say West Side, or only let's say Lifestyle there, or maybe only let's say Reliance in a Nexus Mall? No, you're not finding that. You are finding multiple vendors all clubbed together in that mall, running their own stalls or own, right, shopping complexes. There is a huge mall. In that mall, there are a lot of what's the different brands clubbed together, and they're into that business. Community cloud is one such thing. Let's say mostly universities, they run community cloud platforms, right? University of Minnesota, University of Ohio, and so on. All these different universities, they all contributed and they created a cloud platform. And in that cloud platform, let's say one part is of University of Ohio, one part is University of Minnesota. That way, you know, when multiple what's the vendors, they're all clubbed together and they're creating a cloud for their own resources of that community. Such cloud we term it as a community cloud. Okay, mostly universities they maintain community cloud platform only for that university domain only, not others. Next, hybrid cloud, a combination of both public and private is hybrid cloud platform. A combination of both public as well as private. Like let's say, friends, for example, Bank of America, their applications, everything are running in the private cloud. Now they wanted to establish their business here in India, and they know that India is a huge market, and they got to compete with a lot of banks already what's say established in India. Like we got a lot of banks right here in India. So now Bank of America, they just want to do a trial and error, run the bank here, and if they're getting enough customers, well and good, they continue. If not, they merge with some other bank and existing customers with some other bank, and they just what say they just what say disembark or disenroll from the business here in India. In such cases, what they're doing, instead of investing a lot here in India, establishing their own private cloud, they're maintaining their resources in a public platform, and at the end of the session, sorry, at the end of the business, they just want to disenroll. So that's where what they're doing, they're maintaining some of the resources in public cloud here in India. Just for experiment, they're running the business. If they're good, they might traverse or transition all their public assets into private. Such a business model where they run both public as well as private, such cloud platforms, we term them as hybrid cloud. Yeah, friends, so this is all about cloud computing deployment model. And there is one more thing, which is the cloud computing service model. Yeah, cloud computing service model. What is cloud computing service model? Means we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Likewise, nowadays there are some additional steps being added. Data as a service, functions as a service, right? So there are a few more. What's a AI as a service. So nowadays, there are a lot more other services too getting added in the uh, in the cloud. So what is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service? Let's try to understand. Okay, infrastructure as a service, meaning Now, right at the beginning, we talked about Kavita and her website. So Kavita's website, I wanted Kavita's website to be hosted on AWS cloud, meaning the data is mine, meaning the data uh, I'm going to add. Likewise, the runtime, where the servers, where the website should run, in which server or in which runtime, I'm going to manage it. Right? Applications, I'm going to manage. So whatever are appearing here in green color, these are all managed by you, the consumer. And whatever are appearing here in orange color, these are all managed by the vendor. You need a server in the cloud. What's happening? The cloud vendor is providing you a server, right? With some storage, network, CPU, and virtualization concept, operating system. Everything are managed by the vendor, and you're just using your contribution is only this: deploying an application, a web server, and then in a server, and deploying the website of your client and maintaining the data and applications of your client on that particular server offered by the client, sorry, by the vendor. So when you're availing only infrastructure from the vendor, that services that they're all categorized under a group called infrastructure as a service, IaaS, right? And again, cloud services are categorized as platform as a service too. Meaning here, what's happening is even the runtime, the middleware, meaning you have website, that's it, and you just want to deploy a website, that is it. You don't want any other application to be managed by you. Harish, any questions here? Harish? No. So, so friends, you just want to deploy a website, that's it. Even you don't want to worry about, let's say, some web server, runtime, and so on. But in such a case, what you do, you avail platform as a service. And when you avail platform as a service, even the runtime and middleware, they are also managed by the client. Like say, friends, for example, there is a service called ECS, Elastic Container Service, Elastic Kubernetes Service at AWS level. All I got is some containerized application readily available with me, and I want to run it. So for that, if I own infrastructure, I have to install Docker or some container runtime. I have to manage that container runtime, then deploy my application on a server. But when I'm opting for platform as a service, like ECS or EKS, when I'm availing from the cloud, all I have to do is just deploy my application, my containerized application there. The runtime is provided by the vendor, middleware, everything are managed by the vendor. Meaning they're setting a platform for you, consume it. They're just setting a platform for you, you just go and consume it. Infrastructure as a service, what we can say is, let's say, you renting a car. Infrastructure as a service, something similar to you renting a car. When you rent a car, some of the what say responsibilities are shared by the vendor. Oh, sorry, the driver. Yeah, opted for Uber. What's happening? Sorry, you rented a car. Then what's happening? The car insurance, the car may the car what the pollution certificates, all are managed by the vendor. And all you have to do is fill the car with the fuel. You rent the car, and you rented the car. You consume it wherever you want to travel. You travel. You travel in that car. Platform as a service, let's say it's something similar to you renting you what say called a taxi, Uber. Yeah, when you called a taxi, what's Uber, what's happening? The driver is provided by the vendor. You're not driving the car. You're just getting into the car and just saying where to reach the destination. Right. So platform as a service is something similar to that. Right. Software as a service, let's say you got into a plane. అట్లీస్ట్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ యాజ్ అ సర్వీస్ ఇది ఇక్కడ మీరు లెట్స్ సే ఒక ఊబర్ రెంట్ చేసుకున్నారనుకోండి, లేదా ర్యాపిడో. ఆ డ్రైవర్‌తో మీరు మాట్లాడుకుంటది లైక్ సే హే డ్రైవర్ స్టాప్ హియర్. ఐ వాంట్ టు పిక్ సంథింగ్ అండ్ లెట్స్ కంటిన్యూ అవర్ జర్నీ. అట్లీస్ట్ మీకు కొంత ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ ఉంది ఇక్కడ. ఏంటంటే యూ కెన్ స్టాప్ హిమ్, ఆస్క్ హిమ్ యూ గెట్ యువర్ వర్క్ డన్ ఇన్ అండ్ దెన్ అగైన్ యూ కంటిన్యూ యువర్ జర్నీ. ఇన్‌ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ యాజ్ అ సర్వీస్ అంటే మీరు ఒక కార్ రెంట్ చేసుకున్నారు. సో when you rent a car, you have all the some sort of flexibility. The car ni meer ekkadi varaku drive cheyalo, have the flexibility, and you have the flexibility to stop it anywhere you want. But you don't have the flexibility to sell it. Why? Because you are not the owner of the car. Now coming to software as a service, let's say you went, you're traveling over a plane, Hyderabad to Dubai anukundam. Let's say you want to stop somewhere. Is it possible, guys? No, right? Not possible. The security వాళ్ళు వచ్చి మిమ్మల్ని what do they do? they tie you just to the what's the seat, and they may get you arrested if you behave odd at the plane when it's flying. All you got to do is shut everything down and reach from source to the destination. We have no flexibility at all when we are traveling over a plane, right? So this way, friends, we have infrastructure, platform, and software. Software as a service is something similar to YouTube, your Google Drive. What we do, we just consume them. We don't have the option to tamper, right? You don't have the option to tamper. I don't like Google, what's the Drive icon. Do I have an option to change it? No. YouTube, I don't want the video to be, some video. Do I have an option to delete it? Others' data? No. I just have to consume it. That's it. So these are the three different cloud computing సర్వీస్ మోడల్. సో ఇంటర్వ్యూస్లో మీకు ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ఖచ్చితంగా ఉంటుందండి, డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ మోడల్ అండ్ సర్వీస్ మోడల్. And when I am in the interview panel, I found a lot of students getting confused. Deployment బదులు సర్వీస్ చెప్తున్నారు, సర్వీస్ బదులు డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ చెప్తున్నారు. సో మేక్ ఇట్ వెరీ క్లియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్. సర్వీస్ మోడల్లో సర్వీస్ అనే కీవర్డ్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ యాజ్ అ సర్వీస్, సర్వీస్ మోడల్కి ప్లాట్ఫామ్ యాజ్ అ సర్వీస్, software as a service. These are what you're getting. Deployment models are entirely different. Where you deploy, in which cloud platform are you? Public or private or community or hybrid. I hope it's clear, team. And now, what else are we, supposed to discuss? Means the infrastructure of AWS, the global infrastructure of AWS. Let's talk about that, and followed by that, I'll show you a quick hands-on example, and then we are done for the day. Draw.io. So, friends, infrastructure of AWS. AWS, what did they do? They created their infrastructure across the globe. Now, say, friends, for example, let's say Air India travel. So now, Air India, they are operating flights from India to different parts of the world. From different parts of the world, again back to India. Now, if you are in US and you want to book an Air India ticket, what you do? Jump to Air India of their official website, or you jump to Air India office in US, and you book your ticket from there. Meaning, Air India, they are operating their offices across the globe, and they're making themselves available to customers of all the different countries, right? Similarly, cloud vendors, we discussed it before. Now, let's say cloud, we learned so far cloud is way too cheaper, and now let's say if AWS is operating only in US region, only in US region, and I want to host Kavita's website in in AWS cloud to get myself benefited. And Kavita's website is Kavita's business is let's say a banking business. I am a host client. Sorry, I'm a host, and I want to host a website of my client in AWS cloud. My client is Kavita, and I have to host Kavita's website. But what happened is Kavita's business is a banking business. And when I studied her her business use case, I found it's very clear that the banking software of Kavita should not reside in other countries. Server. Within the country, in any server is fine, but not in US. Then is it possible for me to host my client's website banking business application in US region? Definitely not, because I cannot go out of my country, and I cannot go out of my the government rules. And what should I do? I have to make sure that I got to provide a solution to Kavita, that she got to establish her own on-premise server. But now let's say AWS, they got their instances in Indian. AWS, they're running their business even in India. They got their infrastructure in India. Then what happens? According to the case study of Kavita, I got to know that her business application, it's possible to run in Indian servers anywhere, but the application should not reside outside the country. Then it's okay for me to maintain or propose Kavita that Kavita, we can maintain our applications in AWS cloud within India, maybe in Mumbai or in Hyderabad, right? So this is where, friends, cloud vendors, If they are operating in one particular area, not across the globe, then what's happening? They're losing their customers across the globe who got their business limitation. That's where AWS Cloud, they have their infrastructure scaled across the globe. They're maintaining their infrastructure in US, UK, right? If I just take you to this page here, if you click down here, see friends, these are all the different areas where AWS is operating. US is North Virginia, Ohio, California, Oregon, Asia Pacific in these regions, Canada, Europe, right? South America, and so on and on and on. These are all the different areas where AWS is currently having their infrastructure already scaled up. Yeah, Tim? They have their infrastructure already scaled up in all these different regions. But how the infrastructure is actually what's the scaled up, and how AWS manages their infrastructure means you got to understand some key terms here. One is a region. Let me just explain. Wherever AWS global presence is, that area we term it as a region. Now, AWS, they have their infrastructure in Mumbai. Now, in technical terms, we call that region as, let's say, a Mumbai region. AWS is operating in Mumbai region. Mumbai region. Like that, they're operating in 17 regions currently. Okay? And now, in Mumbai region, how AWS did set their infrastructure, or how AWS they're offering their solutions to the clients means. See, friends, these are some key terms that we should understand. In Mumbai region, AWS has some availability zone, some 3 availability. This is one availability zone, and there is another availability zone, second availability zone, third availability. AWS is operating in this fashion. They got 3 availability zones in Mumbai. So a region is nothing but, let's say, when in the interview, if they ask you what is a region, cloud region, a region is nothing but a collection of multiple availability zones. So friends, this entire red box is a region, Mumbai. And in Mumbai, AWS has 3 availability zones. These yellow boxes are termed as availability. So what is an availability zone? Means, again, an availability zone is nothing but a collection of data centers. Again, within every availability zone, you have something called data center. This is one data center in Mumbai.
ఏం
And one
చేస్తాను
వర్క్షాప్ ఉన్నాయి 2 మళ్ళీ 11 o'clock ఇటు ఉంది. అది గిట్ట ఇది అయిపోతుంది ఇక్కడ
second availability zone. And this is
పెట్టలేదు.
Rajesh, please.
బాగా
Yeah. So again, in one region, sorry, in one availability zone, there are multiple data centers. This is one data center. This is another data center. This is one more data center. Right? And again, within Mumbai, there is one more availability zone. In that availability zone, again, there are multiple data centers. This is how AWS they manage their infrastructure. Yeah, friends. And again, in the third availability zone too, what happens? There are multiple data centers available. Even in Hyderabad region, AWS has multiple availability zones, and every availability zone is nothing but a collection of multiple data centers. Right? So these yellow boxes are availability zones within Mumbai, and each availability zone is distinct from one another. Like say, if one availability zone is in, let's say, if one availability zone is in Nanakram Guda, they maintain another availability zone maybe in, let's say, Uppal. Right? Towards Uppal too, there is a says, right? Maybe AWS might maintain their another availability zone towards Uppal, and they might maintain another availability zone towards, let's say, the highway of Mumbai, towards the highway of Mumbai. Why is that? Why do they maintain availability zones distant from one another? Why not all under one location, in one region only, or let's say in one location only, say in Nanakram Guda only? Yeah, friends, any reasons? Why do they maintain their availability zones, let's say, in one region, distant from one another? Any answer?
To reduce the risk of maybe power connectivity, like that.
Yeah, true. Very good. Say, friends, for example, if there is an earthquake, AWS maintain all their all the infrastructure in one region only. Let's say in Mumbai, and suddenly there's an earthquake in that region. What happens? There are multiple clients who are maintaining their applications in Mumbai, and now if this entire Mumbai region is shut down, what happens? all the data of the client is at stake, right? Thereby, that there raises a question of AWS credibility. So that's where the client, the vendor wants their infrastructure managed in this fashion. And now, say, friends, in one of the data center in Mumbai, if you are opting for a server, you created a server here. You opted for a server in one of the availability zone in one of the data centers. Guess what? AWS maintains the same copy in another availability zones. You are maintaining one instance, but a copy of it, a redundant copy of it, is maintained in other regions. Sorry, in other data centers in other availability. Why is that? If at all this entire availability zone and these data centers are compromised, what happens? You as a client should not lose your data. AWS immediately makes your data available from another availability zones or another data centers of that region. Right? So this way, AWS has their global infrastructure. Let me show you, friends, a quick picture here. Just a second. Let me just go with the infrastructure dot Azure. So back then there was a globe, a visualization at AWS level, but I think they did not. They removed it now, friends. Just to give you a quick global view. So AWS, they made it a flat map now. This is a flat map now. So whatever you're finding here, this is North America, and all these green dots are the regions, and every region has multiple availability zones. In North America, these are all the different areas where AWS is operating. In South America and Brazil, AWS are operating. They're operating. In Sao Paulo, if you observe, there is three available. There are three available. In Europe, in these regions, AWS they're having their infra. Coming soon, see one of the region, Germany. They're now still scaling up their infrastructure. Middle East, this is the Middle East. In back then in 2019, they were maintaining only infrastructure in Bahrain region, but now they made it available in UAE, Dubai. So when I was in UAE, there was no AWS. There was no AWS region back then when I was in UAE. But later in 2022, they started. Back then there was only one region where we were actively working here. Now there is one more region. Even this Israel Tel Aviv was launched recently. It was not there. In Middle East earlier there was only one region, that is Bahrain. Okay. Next, Africa, only one region here in South Africa. And Asia Pacific, we got in India two regions. One is Mumbai and what happened to Hyderabad. It's not yet operational, I believe. No, actually, Hyderabad is working fine. What happened? Telangana government impacted. Not sure of. Actually, in there are two regions in India. One is Hyderabad and one is Mumbai. It's displaying as only Mumbai, not Hyderabad. What the Revant Reddy might have done, not sure of. Yeah. So here, see, these are all the different regions across the globe. Australia and New Zealand. Yes, New Zealand, Auckland, one region is coming soon, and here in Australia, Melbourne and Sydney, they have their infrastructure set up. But actually, friends, there was a globe. Gives us a very good visualization, graphics. AWS, they removed it, but Azure, I think they have this global infrastructure 3D experience you can avail here. Let me show you this real quick. It's an animation. It's a visualization that gives you much more clarity. How see, this is Azure cloud, and Azure, they have their entire infrastructure spanned across the globe. Yeah, friends. So what are the green dots you're finding? These are all the different regions of Azure, right? And the blue dots and the lines. What are you finding? These are all deep sea cables that are laid, and every region is connected with another region across the globe. And these are all the deep sea cables laid by Microsoft. Likewise, AWS got their own deep sea cables laid between regions of across the world. Right? And see, there's a satellite spinning up here, meaning what happens from one region to another region. Or let's say, as a customer, you are availing some resource running in some region. You're availing it through the medium internet. Right? You're connecting it through the internet. So that's where, see, this visualization is giving you much more clarity about how they manage their entire infrastructure across the globe. The beauty of Microsoft is Microsoft took that to a next level. If you observe what's a data centers underwater, Microsoft they're maintaining their infrastructure underwaters by setting up all their infrastructure, in in these capsules, and that they're maintaining these capsules underwater. What might be the reason when they're not maintaining it on land? Why not infrastructure on land underwater? ఎవరైనా హ్యాక్ చేయాలన్న కష్టం కదండి. Like let's say I want to steal something. No one goes deep sea underwaters and get into the data center. And there are multiple reasons here. Data security, sorry, asset security. Second thing, cooling facility. And now, if you are maintaining servers over, say, on land, you have to make sure that there is a proper cooling facility. In that cooling facility, your servers are maintained, right? So now, underwaters, I think the last year, one tragic incident happened, right? If you all remember, what's a Titan submersible, some what's a billionaires, they went underwaters, right? Sorry for bringing this example up, friends, but yeah. So some billionaires, they went underwaters and they expired, right? Just the submersible went under implosion and they all lost their life. But that made me curious to understand what is underwaters, what is the condition, how, what is the ocean bed, and what's the temperature over there. When I studied, I found that the waters, when we go deeper into the sea, you get hit with minus temperature. Right? That is one reason when the infrastructure is maintained underwater. What's happening there? Microsoft, they don't need to spend about a cooling facility, adding ACs and everything, right? In multiple ways, they are making they're taking advantage of this underwater cloud service, right? So this is all about global infrastructure, friend. We'll talk about it in much more detail in our regular sessions. Okay? And finally, let's jump into a quick hands-on where I'd like to show you how to create a server in the cloud and how to host a website in the cloud. Okay? So, say for example, I want to host some website. I'm a developer, and let me go to github.com, and or let's pick some code of some developer. Let's say GitHub. Let's say website projects. Website projects. Let me go get some website projects. HTML code from GitHub. Say, friends, one of you, you are a developer and you developed a website, and now all I got to do is host your website. Yeah, this is some website code, and I want to host this website, and I want to publish this website. Let's say this code is nothing but your resume, and you want to host this website resume. Now, all you have to do is, if you want to host this website resume and make it running all the time, first things first, you got to create a web server, install a web server, get this website, host this website in your servers, then expose it on some port, make it available. That takes a lot of time, though. You need a server level operating system and so on and on. But now, if I'm relying on the cloud platform, see, friends, I'm jumping to AWS cloud. At AWS cloud level, we got a service by the name EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. If we go to the service called EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, here you can opt for a server. I'm going with infrastructure as a service for now. I go click on launch instance and I create a server here. I want to host some website, the code written by some developer. I'll go give a name, let's say my web server. And then let's scroll down a bit. And here what we do is choose an operating system that is also provided by the cloud vendor. Followed by that, I just scroll down a bit again and I choose some hardware type. I need a server with 2 CPUs and 1 GB of RAM. That is fine. Next, I scroll down furthermore down and I choose here no key pair. We'll talk about this in detail in our AWS sessions. For now, I don't want any key pair. And I want to allow HTTP, which is nothing but a web protocol traffic traffic I want to open, and followed by that here in advanced details section, in this server that I'm creating, I want some, what's say, some software to be installed. I'm adding a simple shell script, sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get install -y, let's say Apache 2. Number of servers I need are 1, and I just go click over launch instance. And now, friends, what's happening is a server is getting created for me in the cloud. Okay, there's a server that is getting created for me in the cloud. Let's see. Here, my web server, there is some server up and running. Let's wait for a minute because we added a bootstrap script. That script should run and a web application should get installed here. Let's wait for some time. And after that, once the server is created, I'll get this code of some developer. I'll get all this code of some developer and I deploy a website into this particular EC2 instance. Okay. And friends, by the way, I just wanted to update you with some information. So people, whoever attended this session today, we are providing you with some basic Linux classes. Okay, because the basic prerequisites to learn, no matter you are willing to learn DevOps or cloud platform AWS, or let's say you're willing to learn cyber security, right? Any of the platforms or Azure Cloud or Google Cloud platform. For anyone who are willing to get into the field of IT into precisely these areas, DevOps or AWS Cloud or Azure Cloud or cyber security, ethical hacking, the basic prerequisites that you should know are Linux basics, shell scripting, and networking basics. These are very, very, very important. You should know these before you dive into DevOps or AWS Cloud or Azure Cloud or cyber security. That is where effective this Wednesday, the coming Wednesday, today's 11th, 12th, 13th, Tuesday, and 14th onwards. Effective 14th, we are offering some free Linux classes. The session timings our management will update you shortly. Effective 14th, we are offering from free Linux classes where I'll be the tutor. I'll be teaching you Linux. So just register for those classes too. And towards the end of this session, you'll receive a participation certificate, and you'll get a link to those classes, Linux classes. Yeah. I believe I'm very good at teaching you Linux, make you understand all the basics of Linux. So I'm very excited to teach you Linux to this Wednesday. So make sure, friends, after the class is completed, you just stay back. Our management will, get some details about you. And whoever joined the session today, you get a participation certificate as well as a link to join Linux classes that are happening the next week. Okay. So now, see, friends, let's go to this web server. And if I take this DNS name, so if I reach on port 80, here you find a dummy website. Let's see. There is some dummy website loaded. I'll share this link with all of you. Even you can try. If anyone's connected, oh sorry, chat disabled. Yeah, if anyone's connected over laptops, if you write this URL, you get the same website displayed. But my intention is not this website. I want my content. Let's say my developer have written some code, and I want to host his website. This one. So for that, all I got to do is let me just get this code URL, and I'll jump to this server. I'll connect to this server. Let me connect to this server. And all I have to do is write some basic Linux commands and remove the existing website and add a new website. I'll do it just in a minute. Yeah, just in a minute, we'll get it done. So friends, this is the server I got connected to. And all I do here is cd2/var lib var www.html. And here, all I got to do is this is index.html, which is nothing but this dummy website, this Apache 2 website. I'm going to remove it, friends. Let me go and let's just say rm index.html. Let me remove that website. And here I just say git clone and get this source code written by my developer here. And all I got to do is mv vcard portfolio, all the data in that website to some this location, to current location. This is some basic Linux command I've written. And now, friends, if I go refresh this website, now what happens is, in place of this dummy Apache 2 default web page, I get some resume loaded. Shortly, you'll find there is some resume that gets kicked in. Let me just make it HTTP, not S. See, friends, this is some some web UI UX designer. I don't know what content is this, but some random HTML code. I brought it from GitHub and I deployed it. And now see, this is a website that's up and as long as this server is up and running, this server, as long as this web server is up and running, if I share this public DNS to to all the users across the globe, all the users across the globe, they gain access to this website. Yeah. So this way you can create your own website and you can host your own website at AWS cloud level. Yeah. So the chat is disabled. If not, I'd have shown you. I'd have shared this link with you so that even you are able to access this dummy website. Yeah, friends. So this way you can do things faster. But if at all I got to do the same on premise, what should I do? First, I have to create a server. In that server, I have to run a Linux operating system. In that server, I have to ensure that there is a web server software installed. Then deploy my application. Connect that web server to the internet. And make sure that server is always running 24/7, 365 days. Then only my customers are able to access this website. But with a cloud platform, what happened? Within a matter of minutes, I went global. Go global in minutes is one more advantage. That's what we achieved. Yeah, team. So this way, there are a lot of advantages with cloud platform, and we are going to teach you all those. I teach mostly DevOps, cloud, as well as cyber security. So if you are willing to, make sure, friends, you attend the other classes to take advantage of the classes that you availed access to. The next week, Wednesday onwards, we have basic Linux classes. Make sure you join those classes. I'm really willing to what they have you in my session so that I'll teach you very good Linux concepts. Followed by that, you can decide and get into your respected stream, whether you're willing to learn DevOps or AWS or cloud platform or any other courses that we are offering. You can reach out to our website and get all the information. Yeah, team. So this is all about the discussion related to cloud computing. So what we learned today, if we try to consolidate everything, what we learned today, we understood what is cloud. Cloud is a collection of computing resources, over the medium internet. Not only computing resources, but also infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, functions as a service. There are a lot of additional features too we are availing from the cloud platform. అంటే ఏం లేదండి ఇప్పుడు మనం నెక్సస్ మాల్కి వెళ్ళాం వీఆర్ నాట్ జస్ట్ పర్చేసింగ్ క్లోత్స్ ఓవర్ దేర్ రైట్ ఇట్స్ అ మాల్ వేర్ there are a combination of multiple things. If you want to go to a movie, yes, there is a there are theaters in that mall. You want to eat some food, there is a food court over there. You want to entertain yourself with some games, there is a gaming zone there. But you want to purchase a few things like clothes, yes, there are clothing stores. Shoes, yes, there are shoe stores, right? And so on and on. So for everyone to get engaged, there are a lot of different vendors who are providing different categories of services in that shopping mall. Similarly, a cloud platform. Cloud platform is also a combination of multiple services all under one hood, which you can avail. You are a developer, you want to host a website, you have those services available at the cloud level. You're a data engineer, you want some data engineering related tools. Yes, cloud is available with those services. You are, let's say, you are into DevOps and you want to run some containerized application. Yes, cloud is providing you containerized solution. Robotics, data science, and so on and on. There are hell lot of services at AWS cloud level, which all different categories of audience of IT they can go through. Yep. Excuse me, team. So yeah, friends. So this is all about AWS cloud and a quick introduction to cloud platform. I believe all of you who joined the session today, we got some overview about what is cloud and what we try to achieve cloud platform. Limitations too, we discussed when to use cloud and when not to use cloud platforms. And we get a lot of other use cases too. As we progress, we'll get more and more use cases in our regular sessions. Yeah, you can leave a review if you are willing to. You can go through our websites here. I'm just adding some URLs here. So can find us on this. This is our website. And if you're willing to visit us offline, you are welcome to visit us. This is our website. You can find all our details here, friends. We got a YouTube link too. Let me just share you the YouTube link as well. YouTube link and Instagram. We are on Instagram. We are over Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, etc. So yeah, friends. So how do you find the session? Quick feedback, please. This feedback helps me a lot. So how did you find the session, everyone?
It's a good interactive system.
Yeah, Rajesh, you're breaking. Rajesh, you're saying something. I understand, but
It's clear now?
a lot of disturbance. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead, friends. Anyone would like to share some feedback? How did you find the session?
Yeah, session is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Can you please explain about the job opportunities for AWS certification?
Job opportunities, even for freshers, you are good to get into AWS cloud platform. But the thing is, you should accompany with a project. Like say, you learn AWS, and once you learn AWS, when you are applying for job in the interviews,
Okay.
it's quite common that they ask you, "What have you done at AWS level? Have you done any migration of the data from local servers to AWS cloud platform? Have you done any DevOps related project? Do you know anything about deployment?" So learning AWS is not just sufficient, friend.
Okay.
First, let's say if you're a fresher, I would suggest you to go by DevOps and then learn AWS, or learn DevOps with AWS, meaning all DevOps implementation over AWS cloud. That
Okay.
helps you a lot to say, get into cloud as well as DevOps both. You can manage to handle both. And the opportunities are spiking on a daily. What's a um, compared to the last year, now the opportunities are more and more into AWS cloud, right?
Okay.
So it's a good thing. It's the best start to go off with AWS, accompanied with any project.
Okay. So do you mean to say this is the better one among the all the
Other cloud
cloud platforms like
Yeah. Mostly, I would like to clarify on this too. See, friends, maybe let's say some of you might have heard about Azure Cloud too, and some of
Yes.
your friends might be suggesting you to go with Azure Cloud. Yeah,
Hmm.
either is fine. Azure or AWS or Google Cloud Platform, either is fine. But what I would say is Azure Cloud Platform is way much easier, meaning
Acha.
you got nothing to do much, because AWS, what did they do? They made everything sorry, Azure, they made everything available under one hood. And for Microsoft based activities, you don't need to struggle much at Azure level. But
Okay.
AWS gives you more flexibility to manage everything, configure everything on your own, and get things done on your own. Because AWS, they're not right from the beginning, they're into software industry.
Hmm.
AWS, Amazon, they're first into book business, right? Jeff Bezos, he started an e-commerce platform and he started selling books. Later, some other products they added. Later, some other products, and they slowly evolved as a e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
Later, back in 2002, they started off with what's say cloud services, and they from there they started off transitioning themselves into, of course, they're continuing still with e-commerce as well as they're continuing with AWS. Majority of their what's the profits and all comes from AWS cloud rather than what's the Amazon website or e-commerce platform.
Okay.
But Microsoft, they're right from the beginning into technology, so that's where their solutions are way much closer to technology and easier to perform compared to AWS.
Okay.
But if you're having any opportunity in hand, like let's say if you do Microsoft Azure and we provide you with a job, if you have any opportunities as such, definitely good thing to go with Microsoft. But if you're not,
Yeah.
if you're willing to take a challenging position, like say, I want to do things on my own without anyone's support. I want to self-evolve myself. I want to get into a challenging role. In such cases, I would definitely suggest you to go with AWS rather than Azure.
Okay.
ఇంకా సింపుల్‌గా చెప్పాలంటే ఏష్యూర్ అనేది మీకు ఒక ఆటోమేటెడ్ కార్ అయితే, ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ అనేది మాన్యువల్ కార్ అండి. రైట్? సో,
Okay.
డ్రైవింగ్ ఎ మాన్యువల్ కార్ and shifting to automated is no big deal. But
Hmm.
learning a automated car and then getting back to manual is very difficult for you to transition. So
Okay.
మీరు ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ బట్టి మీరు డిసైడ్ చేసుకోండి. Should you go with Azure or AWS?
Yeah, yeah.
DevOps కూడా అంతే అండి. Azure DevOps and AWS DevOps. Learn AWS DevOps so that you get more to explore, get more exposure when compared to Azure. Because Azure, Microsoft వాడు ఏం చేశాడంటే Azure DevOps, they created one complete platform, Azure DevOps. Everything is under Azure DevOps only. One-stop solution. But
Okay.
coming to AWS, you implement everything, collaborating multiple tools and everything on your own. That's where learning AWS is more feasible, more challenging than learning other platforms. And now it's booming. AWS again, they started, they're regaining the market and they're now booming.
Okay.
So team, that is all for today. I believe you all had a very good time listening to this class. Thank you so very much, friends, for making this time, making this session very successful. What we do is our management will get back to you. They'll give you all sort of other details. If any one of you willing to join offline, you can join offline. I did share all the details, right? Our YouTube channel. So you can just do Career Bridge, Google it, and you find all details about it. So that's all, team, from my end today, and I'll see you in the next class.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, friends. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kumar.
Thank you, Srinivas. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Guys, please wait for 3 minutes. Hemant sir will be joined. Hello.
Yeah. Hi team. Good afternoon. Yeah, Kumar. Kumar. Hello. Kumar, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. I think the session went well, right?
Yeah, Kumar, it went really well. So all
Yeah.
students are cooperative and
Yeah.
we are
Guys, thanks for joining in this session. In the series of presenting DevOps tools like Linux, AWS, and other tools in the series of n number of sessions, we completed second session today. We are planning to conduct more session like this kind of webinars. So we will provide participation certificate as well for you guys who joined session and completed the session in a well manner. So thanks for your cooperation and presence. If you have any other queries, we always available 24/7. At any time, you will be get in touch with us. and Kumar also available at our office. If you have any queries, and please come to office and resolve your queries at any point of time. Thank you. Kumar, anything to say from your end?
No, Hemant, I confirmed everything. We shared all the